So we're going to talk about the dance aspects and maybe a little bit about what the dancers at each of these dance programs are looking for and get out of it. Maybe I'll also speak just for a minute about modern Western and how it relates to its music. The dancers don't know what's coming next. Where they learn a vocabulary, like in modern Western at Tech Squares Plus Dancing, we've learned 100 calls, and we get up to dance. And sure, the tip usually starts with a bow to your partner, bow to your corner, and maybe some circle figure like circle left or Alaman left or whatever. But from there, the caller is ad-libbing, making up legitimate sequences of these dances. So modern Western, we don't know what's coming next. But it ends up that if the caller gives the command just a beat or two before they need it, the dancers can move in a continuous non-stop motion, and we're typically dancing on the balls of our feet, kind of shuffling along, and everything's cool. And that's mainstream and plus dancing, let's say. With respect to the music, we're dancing one step for every beat of music. The music's playing at typically 128 beats per minute. In New England, we typically dance a little slower, more at 126, 125. Some callers, especially Lee Copman on Long Island, will call it more like 130, 134, 136. One step for every beat of music is our ideal, and for a variety of reasons we can talk about later, we pretty much ignore the phrasing of the music and the phrasing subdued. Now you get into advanced dancing. Oh, and what do the dancers want? The dancers want ever-changing, but not really weird or far out patterns that they can do without thinking too hard. They like the changing nature, but they really aren't looking to be tricked or puzzled at mainstream and plus. At Tech Squares, we're looking a little more to be tricked or puzzled, and we've gotten very good at that, and the caller's gotten good, so we still can dance it in what we would call dancing. Advanced dancing, good advanced dancers, experienced, they can do that stuff, and a good caller can rattle off advanced choreography such that the dancers are moving and it still looks like dancing. And advanced, we have some concepts. At advanced, we add the as couples concept and the all four couples, all eight concept. By challenge, we can also do dancing, and I will mention an experiment that Jim Mayo may have mentioned to you. At one point, we had a group of good C4 dancers, and John Sobalski, a good caller who was known for his smooth flowing choreography. And we filmed a group of us, and unfortunately we haven't been able to locate that tape, but we're still working on it. And we filmed a good shot from the ceiling down showing the square, and John called written material, one sequence of each of easy C4, hard C4, C3, C2, C1, advanced, and plus. And we called those in an unknown order, and we danced them. So here's the experiment. Put that tape on your TV and watch it with the sound turned off, and try to guess for each sequence what dance program, what level it was. And except for the hard C4, which was stop and go, and we clearly saw dancers making mistakes and getting corrected and having to think and pause between the moves, most of the rest was able to be delivered in a smooth flowing manner, which, unless you're a caller and go, that looked like chain reaction, therefore it has to be at least advanced, you couldn't really tell the dance program by the competence of the dancers or the smooth flowing nature of the delivery. That said, if you were to go on YouTube and watch YouTube videos of virtually any modern Western dancing above, say, advanced, it's going to look stop and go to you. And that's because I think the nature of what callers are delivering and our dancers are wanting and doing is more of an emphasis on puzzles. And unfortunately, it's hard to explain this unless you can do it. If you're in the square and you stop and I deliver something that I know was stop and go and ask the dancers, did that feel stop and go or was that dancing to you? They're all going to say it was dancing. If you have to stop and think, it isn't perceived in the real time as a stop and go thing. And worse than that, if you look at their facial expressions, they don't look like they're having fun. They are either looking at their feet, they're frowning, they're very intense. And if you go, was that fun? They'll go, yeah, that was great. And you go, well, you didn't look it. And you go, well, I was like moving and thinking. And it takes a really good dancer and someone who's consciously worked on looking up, even on the right and left grand, to make eye contact and say, wow, we did it as a team, and isn't this enjoyable? It just doesn't come across when they're doing it. There's a group in Chicago, Bill and Carol Hyman and other dancers that have worked very hard at being very good at dancing C4. And if you get one square of them and they put on tapes of other C4 dances, or even with a live caller, you can deliver very good flowing C4 choreography. But you also want to deliver a certain amount of puzzle solving. And some of it just takes too long to say. If I had to say split phantom lines, trapezoid, right and left through, and the boys roll, go, I mean, that's just like, where's that? You know, they had to kind of listen for that. So anyhow, I would say the best dancers get together 2 or 3 times a year, maybe 5, 6 squares of them, and they get delivered choreography appropriate for them. And some of it's smooth flowing dancing, we call it wind in your face, and some of it is the stop and go puzzle solving aspect. But they're clearly all thinking and helping correct each other, and each square is in it as a team, and they're having a blast. And they wouldn't pay good money to travel and get together every year and do it, obviously. Yep.